Greetings, friends. Welcome to another episode of the Fern Chronicles podcast. Right now, we are doing a 30-day fitness challenge. So if this is your first time hearing this, go ahead and pause this episode. Go back and give the first and second days a listen as well. The idea is that you do one of the challenges per day, and we'll kind of get a little bit more fit together. So I'm doing this, you're doing this, we're doing it together. Here we go. All right, here we go. So just one more time, if you have not listened to the first and second installments of the 30-day fitness challenge, go ahead and just pause this video, go back and listen to those. The idea is that every exercise is going to get a little bit harder every day. The first 5 or so episodes of this new series is really just going to be opening up mobility, kind of warming it up, strengthening kind of key parts, and basically to avoid injury and avoid fatigue and improve your momentum day by day, as we were talking about in the first couple of episodes. So I guess without further ado, we'll get into it. So the first episode was legs. So it was basically just 20 bodyweight squats. Very easy. Again, just to get you starting to move. Day 2, we focused more on core. So at this point, you might have slightly sore kind of quads or glutes, maybe slightly sore lower back, abs, obliques. Not sore in a bad way. Sore as in you did some work. Speaking of being sore, I know myself, I can get pretty sore, pretty stiff after a long workout, or even beginning a workout, especially in these colder winter months. It can be really hard to get going because your body just feels quite stiff. That's something that I wanted to bring up today. So our sponsor is going to be PremiumJane.com. That's right, this podcast is brought to you by PremiumJane.com. They make all-natural CBD products, which are great for anti-inflammatory properties. It helps calm you down at the end of the day or before a hard workout. Really great. So there's no psychoactive effect. There's no high. There's no THC. It's just the medicinal properties of the plant. So I would highly recommend it. They have topical ointments you can put over your knees, sore elbows, or whatever. Really, really works out well. They even have products for dogs, supplements. Definitely check them out. That's, again, PremiumJane.com. And you can use the code FERN, F-E-R-N, at checkout for not only free shipping, but also 20% off, which is a pretty huge discount. So feel free to check them out. They really help out the podcast. And let's get back to it. All right, here we go. We're going to go ahead and hop into the workout for the day. So basically how we're going to set this one up is you can just put me in your ears and listen along as we go. So this will be on tempo with the pace that you should be keeping. So if you need to take a minute to pause this to get some headphones or put the phone down, put the sound up, get ready to go ahead and do that. And here we go. So we're going to go ahead and start out today with lunges. So before you start, basically what a lunge is you stand with your feet shoulder width apart. You're going to take one step forward with one of your legs. So let's say step forward with your left leg, land down, and then lower. So one foot's back, one foot's forward. Keep your hips kind of parallel to your direction of your feet, and or perpendicular rather, and do a low squat. Bring your knee just about to the ground, and then stand up. Once you've stood back up, bring that lead foot back, align with the foot that was behind, and then switch feet. So now we'll take your right foot forward, take a step forward, stop, go down, up, and take a step back. So we're going to go ahead and do 20 of those on my count. So ready, and here we go. 1, down, up, back. 2, down, up, back. 3, down, up, back. 4, down, up, back. 5, down, up, back. 6, down, up, back. 7, down, up, back. 8, down, up, back. 9, down, up, back. 10, down, up, back. 11, down, up, back. 12, down, up, back. 13, down, up, back. 14, down, up, back, 15, down, up, back, 16, down, up, back, 17, down, up, back, 18, down, up, back, 19, down, up, back, 20, down, up, and back. All right, fantastic. So your body should be warmed up now. You should feel your temperature has gone up. You're probably breathing a little bit hard. Your heart rate is going. That's fantastic. So go ahead and just kick out the legs a little bit. Just kind of shake the legs, get that blood flowing to them, shake out that acid that has been building up in your legs, breaking down the muscles, so you won't be quite as sore tomorrow. Again, a lot of this is all about not being sore the next day, at least not too sore to work out, so we're taking it easy. So from there, we're going to go ahead and head over to jumping jacks. So start with your feet together, standing straight up, arms at your side. Every jumping jack is going to be you jump up and then land with your feet further apart and your hands up, kind of like you're making a snow angel. So we're going to hop into those, pun intended. We're going to do 20 of those. Ready? And here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. Okay, go ahead and stop. Shake out the arms, shake out the legs a little bit. You should be feeling even more heat at this point in time. So we just did the lunges, we did the jumping jacks. Now we're going to move on into arm circles. So what we're going to do is act like you're swimming, right? So the kind of freestyle swim where your arms are going to be doing big circles. So we're going to start with forward motion. So keep your arms relatively straight and act like your arms are two big windmills. We're going to do 5 in each direction. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And now go ahead and pause. Now going backwards like you're doing the backstroke. Okay, so both arms kind of alternating. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, we're good there. So that has kind of opened up your shoulders a little bit. Now we're going to go ahead and do some body twists. So standing up with your feet shoulder width apart, very slight bend in your knees. Go ahead and give yourself a big bear hug. And we're going to just twist the shoulders with your feet staying stationary. So we're going to be twisting to the left and then to the right. So every count is going to be to one direction. So 1 left, 2 right, and so on. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. So what this has done is effectively opened up your legs, your lower back. It's opened up your shoulders, chest, and all the way up your spine. And all that movement is really good. So I mentioned that warm-ups can often feel like you're sort of lubricating the joints. That's effectively what we're doing. Everything should be opened up and not feeling so stiff. Your muscles are warmed up and we're ready to begin the actual the hard part of the exercise, I suppose you can say. Although not too hard. Like I said, it's just day 3 and we're just getting started. So here we go with the actual exercise. So today we're going to start out with push-ups. Okay, so push-ups can be one of those things. I know not everybody can do them. So if it's a hard thing to do, go ahead and instead of being on your toes in your hands, go ahead and just drop to your knees in your hands. That's going to be a lot easier. So if you can do full push-ups, go ahead and do that. If you can do full or rather kind of assisted push-ups where you're on your knees, do that. The important thing here is to keep your body nice and straight. Don't put your butt too high up or too low to the ground because that can really compromise your lower back. So go ahead and keep that body straight, whether or not you're on your toes or your knees, and we'll be good to go. So what I want to do this time is have these shoulders actually inside where you place your hands, or rather a better way of saying that would be, let's put your hands further than shoulder width apart, so we can concentrate more on the chest, a little bit less on the shoulders and triceps. It'll work all 3 of those muscles, but the wider your grip, the more it'll work specifically your chest on push-ups. So if you can do full push-ups, great. If not, do the assisted push-ups on your knees. Keep the body straight. Those are the key points here, okay? And when we go down, we're going to go down just to 90 degrees as to not overextend the muscles, and we're not trying to tear the muscles down too much, so just go down to where your elbows are 90 degrees, so a perfect right angle. They make a perfect square edge. You can go lower than that. There's nothing wrong with that. You can go a little shallower than that. Nothing wrong with that. But for this exercise, let's aim for 90 degrees. And what we're going to do is we're going to do increments of 5 at a time, okay? So go ahead and get in the position, and here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And go ahead and just sit back on your knees and relax for 3, 2, 1. And go ahead and hop back in the push-up position that you were in. And here we go, another set. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and sit back in the kneeling position. Just sit back on your knees for 3, 2, 1. Hop back in that position. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and pop back in that seated position. This is the final rest period for 3, 2, 1, and hop back in the push-up position. Go ahead and hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Now, instead of sitting on your knees, go back. Just stay in the push-up position. So this is going to be your plank position. Now, what I want you to try to do, I know your arms are really sore right now. Go ahead and lift up one hand and touch the opposite shoulder, okay? So act like you're taking it off the ground and then touch your other shoulder. Do that from one side to the other. And here we go. We're going to do this in the push-up position. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Go ahead and relax. You did great. That's awesome. So what we're going to do now, so the arm circles that we did earlier, where you're acting like you're going to be doing a freestyle swim, we're going to do that to kind of loosen up the muscles again, get that lactic acid pushed out of the muscles. So here we go. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, so that was it. We did the warm-up, we did the exercise, and the first step of cool down. What we're going to do now is just some active movement, okay? So what we're going to do is go ahead and stand back up all the way, feet about shoulder width apart, very slight bend in the knees. And now what we're going to do is some very light punches, okay? So don't go hard, just very light punches to move the muscles in the same way that we did during the exercise, just to get those specific muscles worked out, okay? So here we go. What we're going to do is start with the left hand, and you can take a boxing guard right now if you'd like. So put your hands kind of up by your face, and every time we punch, we're going to start with the left and then go to the right. So 1, left, 2, right, and so on. So here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. All right. And that is literally it. So we are done with day 3 of the 30-day fitness challenge. So great job. This one was a little bit harder. We did a lot more movement than we did on the first 2 days. So you're probably feeling like, okay, that was a little trickier. And it was. So good job on feeling that. And we'll get back onto it tomorrow. Thanks so much. And we'll just have a little conversation here. Here we go. All right. So as I mentioned in the last couple of episodes, so after a nice good workout, such as the one that we just had, your body's going to be naturally releasing waste products. So your cells are going to be working overtime and dumping out their waste products that are essentially just going to be sitting as toxins kind of in your muscles and in your body. So let's just keep moving. So this is the kind of longer cool down section. So this is going to be where you pump oxygen and nutrient-rich blood into the muscles, and then your blood is going to pump out the CO2 and all of those waste products, the lactic acid in your muscles and everything is going to just be brought back into your blood and then filtered by your body, and you'll effectively just urinate it out. So your kidneys are going to filter out everything that you don't want circulating, and you're good to go. So because your body's taking care of you, let's take care of your body, right? So at this point, there is that window where you're going to have a little bit higher of an absorption rate of nutrients, calories, just in general, proteins. So what I typically like to do is right after a good workout, I'll take maybe a little bit of creatine, just a little bit, depending on the type of exercise. If it's more of a strength workout, creatine definitely can help. Monohydrate creatine can be great. Just don't overuse it. But I would highly recommend that to basically reduce the breakdown of your muscles, and it'll after a while just start to be stored in your muscles. So yeah, just it's basically a natural substance that's already in your body. I generally would recommend just keeping it to about 5 grams. So if you put it in a sports bottle or something, just weigh it out. 5 grams is more than enough to get the job done. It will make your muscles store a little bit more water, kind of a little bit more plasma, which is going to help reduce the kind of destruction of those muscle fibers while increasing the ability to work. So you get a better workout. You can push harder with less of a breakdown, which means that your recovery time is lower. Lots and lots of options there. Lots of basically evidence within the field of study, basically, where you can just increase your payload. So if you're looking to build some muscle, that's going to be one of those substances that's totally safe. Just make sure, because it does have your muscles retain a little bit more water, a little bit more plasma. Just be sure to drink more water in general. It's always good to drink water anyway, but especially when you're working out, and especially if you are taking creatine. So go ahead, and if you wanted to, I would recommend it kind of right before, right after a workout. Protein is always a good one. Get some healthy carbs, some complex carbohydrates. So if you wanted to eat something like some brown rice rather than white rice, it's always a good idea to have some yams or sweet potatoes in your diet as well. Super, super healthy. Those are a couple of options that'll really help you out. As far as protein powders, I basically live a plant-based diet. Vega, VEGA, is a really great company that makes healthy options that not only give you protein, but plant-based protein, with all of the amino acids that you'll need, and kind of like your daily value of greens. It's all dehydrated and ground up, so it makes it really, really easy. So that's basically a meal, a shake with some creatine, some protein, and some carbohydrate mix. You'll get enough calories and enough nutrients right after your workout to begin. So that's a really good option. That's what I would recommend. I know there's a huge debate, is whey protein better? Is this protein, whey protein is basically milk protein, egg white protein, pea protein. There's a lot of debate, and I'm not here to tell you what's the best, but what works for me is a plant-based diet. So that's what I would recommend. It's easy, it's not super expensive, and it seems to work, and it keeps me super, super full long periods of time. So something else that I'd like to mention while we're on the subject of kind of nutrition and sort of planning things out. So by the way, don't stop moving. The whole time that I'm talking here, you should be moving to get that blood flowing and circulating, get your body absorbing the nutrients. So keep moving. Just a friendly reminder. So this is just here to keep you from getting bored, basically. That's why I'm talking right now, and to help you kind of get on track mentally. Anyway, I digress. So what I was going to mention is kind of fasted cardio or fasted working out. So I like to do my workouts in the morning for a couple of reasons. One is it really, really wakes me up. So the workouts that I do, I'm doing this 30-day challenge with you. Just did the workout, kind of ate. Now I'm recording this audio for you folks. So in the mornings, I would recommend not eating anything before your workout, unless it's a particularly grueling workout, which really none of these are going to be. These are all going to be just getting you in shape. But yeah, a fasted workout is going to basically help enter you into a state of ketosis where your body is going to be burning fat rather than sugars that are in your blood. So it just keeps your energy levels more consistent. It'll also help ramp up your metabolism working out in the morning rather than in the evening. And I find that working out in the evening kind of amps me up a little bit. So it's a little bit harder to sleep. And then of course you are going to be moving throughout the day. So again, getting that blood flowing through the sore muscles is really beneficial. And I think working out and then going to sleep shortly afterwards is just going to allow all of those lactic acids and the waste products that we mentioned earlier to just sit in the muscles and kind of deteriorate everything. You wake up and it's a little bit tricky. So you have time to hydrate during the day, to eat really nutritious food, and just start over again tomorrow. And we'll start day 4 tomorrow. It'll really, it'll get easier as it goes on, but before it gets easier, it does have to get a little bit harder. So just a word of warning, tomorrow is going to be a little bit more challenging. I hope to see everybody there, and I appreciate it. So you are all done. Go do whatever you need to do for the day. I'm starting to learn German. I got started on German. I think it would be really cool to visit Germany because I do have German heritage, and I haven't been there since I was 8 years old. And that's something that I want to do. So I'm going to be able to go to a foreign country, specifically Germany, and be able to communicate with the people who live there and not expect them to speak English, which almost every German has very good English, but that's something that I want to do personally. So that's something that I'm going to be doing to grow today, is studying a little bit of German. I'm going to be using that Duolingo app, totally free and easy to use. So that's what I'm going to be doing today, because I love to travel, and I figure while we're all stuck, international travel is very difficult and kind of nerve-wracking to, certainly for me, and I know a lot of other people as well. I'm focusing on health, creating this podcast, which I hope you are enjoying, and will continue to, like, comment, subscribe, and share, which really helps, and get myself ready for traveling. So something I want to do as soon as the pandemic is lessened is to go to Germany. So that's what I'm doing. Hopefully you folks can figure out a long-term or medium-term goal that you will do along with continuing this challenge, and we'll get there together. So yeah, let me know, and we'll get there together. Thanks so much for listening. Again, your support means everything. Have a great day. Oh, bye-bye.